Why in the world would you buy a Lockback knife in 2026? Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the KnifeCenter. And welcome to the show. This is episode 271 of KniFAQ, the series where I answer all your questions, sharp or dull. What we do is we pull questions from the comments section, try to answer them to the best of my ability, and then Thomas behind the camera, of course, makes...
Nobody told me to come up with a thing.
Never stopped you before. Shall we get into the first question, folks? The first question today is from One Sharp Dude 11. Are you the 11th sharp dude?
What happened to the first 10?
Or is he the 12th? Because like One Sharp Dude is 1, yeah. And then One Sharp Dude 1 is 2, and 2 is 3, and so anyway.
It can be only one.
Or not, as the case may be. Why buy a Backlock in 2026? Let's get into it. They're two-handers, stiff action, and a snapback almost as wicked as a slip joint. I get that they're tough, but I don't need strength for regular EDC. Thanks. You know what I'm actually going to do here? I do enjoy a Lockback or a Backlock. Means the same thing. I own several in my collection, but I think our occasional co-host, my coworker and friend Seth 30V, could do an even better job defending the virtues of the Backlock. So you know what? I'm actually going to let him finish this entire episode. Seth, come here.
Oh boy, I'm excited for this one. I relish the opportunity to defend the greatest lock of all time, the humble Backlock. Yeah, the question is, why a Backlock in 2026? And I do understand the question. And I appreciate the criticisms that this commenter pointed out because he's right. But let's talk about why most of those things are actually points in its favor. So we have here the quintessential Backlock, the Buck 110, and of all knives that I could think of, this is the one to which your criticisms apply the most, especially the two-handed thing, because without one of those aftermarket quick studs or something, you're going to need two hands to open and to close this knife because of where the lock release is placed on the handle. You can, there are workarounds. You can do something like this to get it started, but I'm a little hesitant to recommend that.
Sketch.
Yeah, a little sketchy. Two hands is best. So you're right. There are some fair criticisms you could levy at this knife. That's also true of the recently restocked Slim Heritage Elite. The blade steel's been Magna Cutized. It's been upgraded to Magna Cut, and it has a pocket clip, and it's thinner, so it's easier to carry, but we're still talking about a two-handed knife that's slow to open, slow to close, with an impressive spring back. And the spring back is also something that we call a self-close, meaning that the blade closes itself when it kind of goes past a certain point. So right there, it's hanging open, just a little past that, closes itself. Now here's why that's a good thing. I can think of really like 3 S words to describe why Backlocks are the best, and I promise it's not Seth said so. The first of which...
It's about to be.
Yeah, it is that too, but the first of which is safety. That spring back, that snap closed, while you wouldn't want your hands in there, is absolutely a safety feature for carrying a folding knife. This right here is a Spyderco Centifonte 3, and it represents a slightly more modern Backlock design. The first change you'll notice is that the lock release has been moved to the middle of the handle instead of the rear, which facilitates one-handed operation, but it still has that self-close, that snapback. Now, if you're carrying a knife loose in a bag, and it's a knife with a standard detent, it is comparatively very easy for that blade to be knocked open by an application of sudden force. You drop the bag, you drop the knife, you fall over even. The blade can be knocked open and there's nothing closing it, pushing it closed again. There's no self-close. As long as you have enough force to overcome That detent, the knife is open and it's staying open. With a backlock, you need to have a continuous application of force to get past that self-close until you can open it. That, in my mind, is a significant safety feature that really no other lock comes even close to having. Some of the crossbar locks and maybe assisted openers have a little bit of a self-close, but they don't come anywhere near a backlock. And like, for example, if I'm recommending a knife to a knife newbie or somebody who's going to be carrying it in a bag, kind of maybe loose in a pocket, I never recommend liner or frame locks because it's just too easy for them to be knocked open. I'm not saying it like happens all the time, like it's a big problem, but it happens. And the last thing you want is for someone new to knives to experience a nasty surprise of an opened knife somewhere they expected it to be safe. So backlocks have an unparalleled degree of safety. The other S word that they have in their favor is simplicity. The elegance of the backlock design is, again, I think kind of incomparable. Maybe you could argue a frame lock has the same level of removing all unnecessary parts, making it as simple as possible. But the backlock does, in one part, what a lot of locks do with two or more. The lock bar, the humble little lock bar that keeps the thing locked open, is both the blade stop and the locking piece. Every other type of lock splits those two functions into two parts with either a stop pin or some other way of separating what stops the blade from opening all the way from what locks the blade in place. And there's an elegance to that I really appreciate. For one thing, it really exposes a knife maker's attention to detail and quality of manufacturing because, you could say it's a flaw, but one thing that does happen with backlocks, especially cheap backlocks, is you get a lot of wiggle in the lockup because one part's doing two jobs. If that part's not perfectly made, the blade is gonna wiggle a little bit. It's not gonna be perfectly set in there. It's still a safe lockup. It's not gonna disengage, but you're gonna feel it move a little bit. And it's kind of an endemic problem to backlocks. It's not present on this Centifonte, and I know for a fact it's not present on those Bucks because those have bank vault lockup. But on some cheaper stuff, you can encounter it. To me, I'm okay with that because when a maker kind of steps up and does it right, it's just that much more satisfying.
And if the lock wears out, you get to buy another knife.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I can see where you're coming from. The reputation of backlocks have suffered because they're hard to execute perfectly. The other S word that backlocks have in their favor is symmetry. I use the term naturally ambidextrous from time to time on the channel, and this is a perfect example of that. With no extra parts, with no extra fasteners or doubled up relief mechanisms on the sides, it simply works for left-handed people and right-handed people exactly the same. You can operate this in either hand and have the same experience.
Pocket clip notwithstanding.
Pocket clip notwithstanding. And it's, again, there's an elegance to that. I think it is a better design because of it. It's a more pure design, if you will. There's a philosophy to it that I appreciate on an aesthetic and kind of design level. And yeah, I think it makes it a better lock. I think it makes it more beautiful. I think it makes it more impressive when it's really, really well done. And I just appreciate backlocks so much because there's also so much history behind it. It's a very old lock, stretching back even well before the Buck 110 to some modern stuff we'll get to in a minute. There's still a lot here with a backlock that might, cause you to want to get one here in 2026. Let's quickly talk about some of the improvements to the backlock, because the next two knives here, to my mind, still count as backlocks, but they fix some of the little problems that you will encounter. The first of which is this cold steel Talwar, an impressive backlock design that is technically a triad lock. So a triad lock is a subset of backlocks, a type of backlock. And it takes away from its simplicity, but it solves the endemic wiggle by introducing a stop pin. So now we have a backlock part that locks up the blade and a stop pin to stop the blade. And that lets the lockup be absolutely deadbolt secure. There's no movement in any direction on this thing, and it is that much stronger to boot. Now, strength is not something you said you valued, but the Triad lock is just so impressively strong, you can't talk about it without mentioning it. The other thing this lock does really well is endurance over time. So if you were to abuse this and deform, some part of the locking mechanism in there, there's a bit of tolerance in there to allow it to reset and still give you a good lockup, even as things kind of shift and settle in over time. Again, it's using the simplicity of the system, the kind of beautiful elegance of it to just make a better folding knife lock. And that's something you can do with the Backlock. And definitely something Andrew Demko and Cold Steel did with this Talwar. Now, the other thing you mentioned was stiff action, and we still haven't solved that problem yet, right? The Buck 110, definitely stiff. Breaks in nicely, but it's not the flicky, fidgety action that people are sort of craving today. The Centofonte, you can flick it open. In fact, let me try here. Well, I flicked it, but it's not like a ball detent knife that snaps open. It's satisfying in its own way, but a little stiff. The Talwar, definitely stiff. I'm not going to try to flick it, but it is easy to roll open at least. But here's an interesting innovation with the Backlock that solves the smoothness, the flickability of it. This is the Bestech Tonic. I believe these are discontinued and we only have a couple left. So if you appreciate Backlocks, you want to check this out, don't sleep on this one because it's not going to be around for much longer. Now, the thing that the Bestech Tonic does to add some flickability to the classic Backlock design is a ball detent. They've gone and embedded a little ceramic ball in the face of this lock bar and a little notch in the kind of tang of the blade that gives you a much crisper action. So you can probably hear that snap. It's smoother, it's more flickable, but it still has the simplicity, the self-close, the safety. But hey, you can flick it, you can fidget with it. That is an improvement, I'd say. So the Backlock is still alive. 2026 is not, we're not too far in the future to appreciate these great designs from the past or to improve them, make them even better. Okay, next question. Hey DCA, I just bought a motorcycle and I'm back on two wheels for the first time in 6 years. Welcome back, brother. I want to get a new knife to go with the bike. It's all black/chrome, looking for a budget option folder with a very secure pocket clip so I don't have to worry about it falling out. Also a strong detent so it won't open unless I want it to. Thoughts? Thanks as always. Okay. This one I picked just special to come after the Backlock question because you're looking for a Backlock, my guy. This, in particular, the Talwar, might be up your alley. I don't know what kind of bike you have, but I could see this matching very nicely with the aesthetic of a custom chopper or...
Maybe not a Vespa.
Not a Vespa. Maybe the Tonic for the Vespa. Or maybe, I don't know. It's got a little like European flair to it somehow. But yeah, you want a Backlock. You want it to be closed in your pocket, not susceptible to sudden shocks, staying closed, not having to worry about it, but easy to open. And the advantage with the Talwar is you have this pocket hook. So if you're sitting on your bike and maybe you need that knife out before you even stand up or something, you can just draw it, it'll catch on your pocket, auto deploy, and boom, you've got a super strong, pretty stylish, pretty wild and rad folding knife to accompany you on your two-wheeled adventures. The other one I want to suggest, if you're feeling a little more classically minded, say maybe you got a Triumph Bonneville or something, more old school, more vintage style, a Buck 110 Slim Heritage Elite is what you want. Backlock, gonna keep it closed, and a pocket clip, nice sturdy pocket clip to keep it in place, but it's gonna be slim enough to be comfortable in your pocket while you're riding. And actually, a bit of motorcycle kind of history / trivia for you. the slim Buck 110 used to be a hidden factory option. So if you lived near Buck's manufacturing plant and you knew somebody, they would make you a slim version of the Buck 110, and this became a very popular mod for local motorcycle riders. They wanted it slim so they could keep it in their pocket and not have it kind of pushing up against their hip while they were riding for those, long iron butt rides or something. So, bit of motorcycle history kind of caught up in this slim 110. You still get a modern metallurgy, high performance steel here, but a backlock is what you're looking for. So check out the options on the website for that. All right, next question. I'm a big fan of Spyderco's Salt series, but why on earth can't they make the hardware, screws, backspacers, and other components out of titanium as well to eliminate potential corrosion weak points? Best regards from Germany. This right here is a Spyderco salt knife. This is the Atlantic salt. In fact, with practically corrosion-proof H2 steel, a titanium clip, but stainless hardware. Why stainless hardware, you ask? Fair question. The answer is because it's actually better in this application. Titanium hardware, while corrosion resistant, has a couple of flaws that make it difficult to use for threaded fasteners. For one thing, the springiness that titanium naturally has makes it more susceptible to what's called galling. So when the screws go into their homes, if there's too much friction there, the softer titanium can actually sort of bond to the material it's being threaded into. And then you either have to break it or tear away that bond to get it out again. And if your knife is maybe susceptible to getting a little rusty, it's going to get even worse. So titanium is not the best material to use on threaded fasteners. And the other problem with it is what's called galvanic corrosion. This is like what happens inside a battery. Two different metals with different electrical potentials, one more noble than the other, in contact in the presence of solvents, i.e. salt water, can just spontaneously rust. One acts like the anode, one like the cathode. You get rust on one side. Titanium is so much more inert than even stainless steel. That difference in potential can cause problems. So, Spyderco looked into it. They found that the best solution was just a coating. A coating on steel protects the materials from galling, kind of almost like a little micro layer of lubricant, and it also protects the galvanic possibilities as well. So it's a good question. It's a fair question. Why not titanium? It is much more stain resistant. You're right about that. But the answer is it's not the right material for the job in this case.
The answer is science.
The answer is science. So yeah, I hope you appreciated that very technical answer, but I think you deserved the truth. Okay, next up. Hey, DCA and Thomas, big fan of these series. I'm working as a restaurant chef and I use WorkSharp sharpening tools and ceramic rods for my knives. When it comes to my fillet knives, I fail to sharpen the tip of the knife properly using the rod for quick sharpening. Is there any method you recommend? Good question. We're looking for sharpening tips on sharpening tips here. And I have the Civivi Chakra to stand in for the fillet knife. This thing is back in stock, incidentally. The coolest folding fillet knife of recent memory, at least.
Folds twice.
Folds twice, look at that. Handle, handle. So here's your fillet knife, and you are having trouble actually sharpening the tip, and I can see why. Especially if you're using a rounded sharpening rod. It's very easy to get the line of the edge up to here, but once you get to the point, your round rod is tangent only at a point with the edge. And then you're trying to sharpen a point with another point, and it's just not working. I would say for sharpening the tip, ditch the rod entirely. You're making it kind of too hard on yourself. Use a flat sharpener like this WorkSharp, this very well-loved and well-used office copy of the WorkSharp field sharpener. Use one of these flat sides And then one other tip is technique. So if you're holding the knife in your dominant hand, it can be difficult, especially on a long fillet knife, to really be precise with that tip. You know, it's too much leverage out there, delicate tip, hard to control. Switch it up. Put the knife in your non-dominant hand, brace it against something, you know, your cutting board or whatever you're at, sharpener in dominant hand, and then you can focus on that tip with much greater precision. Yeah, that would be the tip. Use ditch the rods, use a flat stone instead, and try switching up your hands. All right, one more sharpening question to round out this section. Do you think services like Benchmade's LifeSharp are a worthwhile convenience/inconvenience? I've had varied success with my Lansky controlled angle system, but I'm hesitant to go after my 940. Right here we got a Benchmade 940. The edge it came out of the box with wasn't quite what I expected, but it's kept its edge well with a strop every month or so. But is giving it up for a month worth it? Ah, boy. This is a tough one because the true answer is it depends, you know? Depends on what you want. You said you weren't satisfied with the edge out of the box. If you send it back, you're going to get that edge back. That's their system. They're going to recreate it. So I'd hate for you to be disappointed again. On the other hand, I completely understand the reluctance to want to hesitate to jump in and sharpen an expensive knife like this by yourself if you're not really confident in your skills. And the 940 in particular is extra hard to sharpen because as you're getting back to the heel here, your stone often clips the edge of these thumb studs and kind of scuffs them up, grinds them away. And you'll see a lot of used 940s with big chunks taken out of the thumb studs from sharpening jobs. And again, it's kind of a dress knife. It's a nice knife. You spent your money on it. You don't want to ruin it, and I get that. So if you have other knives you can live with while this goes back to LifeSharp, send it back. Go for it. Benchmade's going to take care of you. I appreciate that they offer that service for folks who don't want to obsess about edges and get deep into sharpening talents and just want a sharp knife, right? Benchmade will sharpen it and send it back to you. I'm glad they do that. But
the best value is if you got to send it in for some other kind of service. You might as well have it sharpen it.
yeah, wait till an Omega spring breaks or something and send it in for a whole refurbishment. But yeah, if it were me, I would sharpen it myself. I might even take these thumb studs off. They are removable with a T6 bit. You can kind of unscrew them. And then you don't have to worry about the thumb studs. You can tape up the handle with masking tape. Make sure that you're not going to nick that either. There are things you can do to kind of get out of your own way and make things easier on yourself. But yeah, ultimately, if you practice your sharpening skills, you are going to get better edges than any company can ever deliver. If you're not interested or willing to do that, send it back. Yeah, forget about it. More power to you. Okay, we've got a most serious question to round things out. But as David passed it to me, I think it's only right that I pass this one to Thomas so he can take a crack at it.
Why waste time? Seth's on the camera and he charges double. All right. Luis Dominguez. I didn't read this before. Hello, DCN crew. I guess we count as crew. I joined the Marine Corps at 17 and spent 9 years working as an aircraft mechanic. Good job. While I love all the knives that pay tribute to the military, is there a specific knife that would be appropriate for a P.O.G. personnel other than Grunt, such as myself? Hashtag P.O.G. life. Well, it's going to be a Jackwolf, and it's all in the packaging. Start off with this tin. Well, let's not start off with the tin. This is the Gunslinger Jack, and it comes all wrapped up like this. All of these parts are going to play a part, including the knife, which is camo carbon scales. Kind of
appropriate.
Yeah, it's
not very camouflaged.
maybe a casual Friday camo. We've also got this nice microfiber for cleaning your service weapon. I know you're a mechanic, but you better be proficient with your weapon anyway. We've got this tin, which becomes a canteen. And then finally, for a P.O.G. such as yourself, we have a P.O.G.
Wow.
That's all we got time for today. David says stuff at the end of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you got any questions or answers to yourselves, throw them in the comments. If you want to get your hands on any of these, including a gunslinger jack, we have a few of those left in stock, head on over to KnifeCenter.com with the links in the description. Don't forget about our Knife Rewards program, earning you points on future knives, as well as various payment options, including Sezzle, to break it up into 4 payments. And you see, David, it's not that hard to get that in one take. I'm Thomas, that's Seth. David was here earlier. We're at the Knife Center. See you next time.
Thanks for that, Thomas. I say looking at this camera, knowing you're in this camera.
What? Where am I?
I hope I wasn't too bad with the B-cam, but you'll see. I'm here at the end to let you, well, to ask for your number. This is how Knife Center asks for your number. With a chance to win an incredible set of Benchmade kitchen knives. This is a $900 value, and this is this month's giveaway for signing up for SMS alerts. So click the link in the description, sign up for SMS alerts, give us your number, and you'll be entered to win this set of Benchmade kitchen knives. You get a, as I unsheath them here, utility Santoku, kind of your full-size chef's knife. You get a boning / fillet knife, beautifully thin, beautifully ground, and your essential paring knife. And as you can see, all these come with individual blade covers, so you can take them camping, throw them in a bag. These are beautifully made CPM 154 blades with rich light and G10 handles, kind of Benchmade's flagship kitchen set, and worth $900. So sign up for SMS alerts for your chance to win. The drawing will be completed on the 1st of next month. So good luck.